might just have a musical tonight. Okay, yeah, I thought we were just gonna have a jam session. That would be nice too, huh? Hey, welcome back to Cassie Live. I am your host, Chris Stiles, and of course, I am the founder, the visionary of the Cassie Project, which is keeping all survivors safe, informed, and emancipated. So tonight we're doing things a little different. I know you're like, oh my gosh, where's the couch? You know, how are we gonna heal without the couch? Tonight we are not actually focusing on survivors of sexual and domestic abuse, but I wanted to bring in a couple of actors who are going to be playing in a new show, stage production that's coming to the air now. And it's near and dear to my heart because the writer and the director is actually a good friend of mine, and he also wrote Trapped. And if you don't know about Trapped, Trapped is the theatrical production of one couple's journey from love through domestic violence that we use for community conversations and education purposes. So he could not be here. That would be Mr. Greg Stallworth. He likes to add Esquire to his name, whatever that really means, but that's how he likes to answer the phone. Hey Greg, how you doing? I've got your people here. We're going to talk about Brooklyn, so I'm really excited. So how about I introduce my guest? That would be nice. All right, so to my left is the beautiful actress Chantel Collins. Woo! She's actually playing the lead role in Brooklyn. She's playing Brooklyn. That's the name of the young lady we're talking about. And then here we have Mr. Jason Rout, actor extraordinaire. So he's going to be playing the role of the principal, but I'll let them introduce themselves to you and to tell you about the production. And we're just going to talk about it, let you know where you can go if you want to see the production, the website, and everything else, all right? So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, you guys are doing a play called Brooklyn. Now, it just so happens that this play is kind of like happening in real time. So the play is actually called Brooklyn, Real Time for a Change, right? Okay, I always leave that part out. My bad, I'm sorry. But yeah, tell me about you. Chantel Collins, you are an actress and you are playing Brooklyn. That's wonderful, congratulations.
Thank you. So yes, again, Chantel, and I am playing the role of Brooklyn. She's a young woman that's ambitious. She's going to go through a lot of obstacles and trials, but her ambition and determination, you'll see it transcend through the play, and you'll just see the things that she goes through to get to presidency. So
there you go. I was going to say,
very excited.
What is she ambitious about? She's going to be the first female president.
Yes.
And actually that it would be an African-American president, that's like a double whammy, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's got to be a lot of responsibility.
Yes, so you'll really see my journey starting from high school. So we'll touch on a little bit of racism. You'll see us go through high school mergers, and you'll see my journey through college, and then a few of the obstacles that I go through to get to the presidency seat. So I'm very excited.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Mr. Josh here, did I do it again?
It's okay.
It's Jason. Jason?
Yes.
Y'all excuse me, his name started with a J, and for some reason I have Josh in my mind, so God must be telling me there's going to be a Josh coming into my presence soon. At least that's one way to get out of it, right? No, my bad. Jason. Jason Rout. So who do you play?
I play the principal. Basically, he's a transition type of principal from Lincoln Heights High School to Princeton High School.
Oh, okay.
Damon Hall is his name, and basically he's just informing the students and informing Brooklyn of the opportunities that lay ahead.
Okay, okay. So Brooklyn her dream is to become the first female president.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of obstacles in the way, but can you just give us an idea of some of the things that you have to face? Like in high school, your relationship with the principal here.
Yes, so she is very serious about her education. So one of the obstacles that she'll face is the fact that some of her credits may not allow her to be the valedictorian. And so obviously with the high school merger, there's a young white student that they're trying to give that position to. So we will touch on racism and how that can play into my education and the fight that we make in order to ensure that I'm receiving all of my accreditation so I can have that valedictorian seat, because I worked really hard for it. And no one's going to stand in Brooklyn Simpson's way, not even Damon Hall. So
are you reluctant to giving? Never mind. You know, I don't want to give away the play, but your relationship, are you guys clashing or are you working together?
Well, it's more like of informative role that I played with the principal, and basically it's more of a mesh. It's more of a team kind of a thing, because I know her background and her parents know me and things like that. So basically, we just moving forward, trying to help her get to the next level.
Okay. So Chantel, tell me about your experience as an actor. So this is not your first stage play, but is this the first time you've played either the main role or a character that's like just so important overall?
Yes, so this is my first time. I have done a few productions just growing up. So my background is primarily in the church. I went to a small church in Milford, Manual Missionary Baptist Church. Hi, Pastor Graves. And I played in a number of the productions we had there, such as Glory Train, where I played a woman that was very vain. And then we also did A Christmas Story, but more recently with Greg last year at the Fairfield Theater, we did The Baby's Daddy. So I was not the main character, but I still played a very important part within that production. But this was just a blessing for Greg to reach out with just such an important message that a lot of people need to hear. And so I'm very blessed to play this role of Brooklyn Simpson. So
speaking of the message, just by hearing and reading the summary of the production, this production itself is going to give young girls, it's going to give them a lot more encouragement. It's going to encourage them to actually pursue their dreams and not to be afraid. And there are going to be challenges, but you can get over it if you are determined.
Yes.
So I figure that's what's going to happen.
Definitely.
Okay, what about your background?
Basically, my background from Lincoln Heights, Ohio. Football, basketball, all at Princeton High School, things like that. Yeah, you know, little history there. Played a little college ball, things like that. But turned my focus into myself and started working for myself, being an entrepreneur, things like that.
What do you do?
Cutting lines and things like that.
Okay.
And helping people out, you know, just doing a good thing. Yeah, landscaping.
Yeah.
And you know, I did that for a few years, and from there, I was in the coaching as well, and then Greg came along, and he was like, "You look real good for this play that I would love for you to play in." And from there, it was going on.
And how long ago was that?
And that was about 6 years ago.
6 years ago? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, I come to Greg's Productions, but I don't remember seeing you. Which ones have you done?
I've done Mother's Plea. I've done Baby's Daddy.
I did a
with
Mother's
Chantel.
Plea.
Yeah, I did the Mother's Plea.
You did the
after
first one.
you did that one, yeah.
No, wait a minute, no, because the one I did was probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Well, it was...
You did it before that. You must have done it the first time.
Maybe.
Because we were at the Fairfield Theater.
That's where we were too, yeah.
Okay, what character did you play?
I played the son.
Did you?
Yeah.
Awesome. I played the best friend attorney,
Oh.
so the best friend of the mom.
Yeah, that's awesome. And from there, Greg motivated me a lot more. So once they had, Film Cincinnati had a calling for The Old Man and the Gun. And
yes, casting call. I remember that.
I went down there, and from there, I signed up with D. Lynn Myers, and from there, I've been working on movies as well, so it's been great.
That's amazing. I know D. Lynn and everything. I'm with an agency, but yeah, all the big movie auditions and things like that and casting go through her. Yes. Wow.
Awesome feeling.
It's a small world. I love it. So what is it that you hope will come after Brooklyn?
So what I'm hoping is to just see a lot of young women just being more ambitious, letting them know you can go beyond being STNAs, you can go beyond being a nurse, a lot of the typical positions that they want us women to go into. You know, since we run corporations and we run households, why can't we not have the highest role in the land? And so I'm just here to tell women, you know, break those barriers, go after your dreams, and don't let anyone tell you that this job is not for a woman. So I'm hoping to see more young women, you know, decide to run for presidency. And I know right now we have a lot of women in the running, so hopefully we can see a woman president soon.
One in particular is Kamala Harris, and I bring her up only because I was in Oakland the day that she had her, I guess, announcement party, and the night before that she had a gathering, and I was like too sleepy to go. And I'm like, I couldn't go because I'd gone into town for training. So I kind of want to shoot myself in the foot for that one, for not being there. Of course, that was a historic moment, the fact that this African-American woman decided that she is going to run for president and she is going to win. So what do you think would be like to have a female president?
I think it'd be awesome, especially a woman of color. Definitely something we need right now. It's a lot of opportunity. It's a lot of smart women out there, and I think they should shoot their shot. I think they should go for what they know.
What do you think is going to change if we get a woman in the White House? Especially change from today's appointment of president.
Well, there'll be a good thing as well. It's definitely some turmoil in Washington right now. I think it'll clear it up. I think it'll definitely clear the smoke, and people will be able to understand that leadership doesn't have to be a man, and it doesn't have to be someone different than us. We can be able to run this country too, man or woman, but it would be nice to see a woman to finally take that throne.
I think she'd get it, especially, I don't know, I picture this African-American female in the White House, and she's like one of those, I don't take no stuff kind of women. So I see her just like putting her foot down, like, no, we're not doing it that way, no. And I don't know, they always say we can be controlling, and that's true, but I don't know, the president we have now is he controlling, or what is the best word to describe him right now?
I would say that he is determined. So that can be in a good and a negative way. He has an agenda, and he's gunning for it despite what the naysayers are saying. He's going for the wall that he wants. And so it goes to show you, despite what he's facing, he's continuing to go towards his goal. So do I necessarily agree with that step? Not really. But it goes to show you that he has the determination and the ambition to see his project through.
I don't know. I don't know that the wall is something. I mean, if we've gone all these years, and we are still the United States of America, free country. I don't know. I just feel like he's being a bully and kind of like, I want what I want. I'm the president, so you're going to give me what I want, or you get nothing. We're going to shut down the government, and we're not going to allow the Speaker of the House to speak. And blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know if he's determined to do what he wants to do, not what's best for the country.
Right.
There. Okay.
There.
And I can say that on this station. I can probably say more, but I won't. What changes do you see coming with the female president?
I would say more unity. And so I feel that women, despite our differences, we know how to work together. And I feel that that's what this country needs right now, because similar to, like you said, with President Trump, he has a one-minded agenda. And right now he's just focused on his wants and his people that's under the MAGA group that he has. So I feel that with a woman president, we're representing everybody. And so there's going to be times where, we may disagree with the person that we're meeting with, but I feel that women are very good at communicating our needs and what we're trying to get across. And I think we can find a different way versus abusing power to get our point across and to move this country in the right direction.
You said that very well.
Definitely.
You said that very well. And that's great, but I want some real stuff. Come on, you're being politically correct right now, Chantel. You're being politically correct, and it's like, I just want... You said that women work well together.
Yes.
Has that been your experience in life?
Now, not always. So obviously I've had a lot of obstacles, where obviously I'm in management for a large bank here in the tri-state. And far as when you think about management and the direction of a group, everyone has different opinions, and they're, fighting to get their point across. And for me, I feel the proof is in the numbers, the proof is in the results. And so anytime I'm coming to an argument, I'm well prepared. So I feel that with the presidency, as a woman, we're going to be prepared. There's no way that we're going to go into meetings or speak before our people and not have an agenda. I mean, look at Michelle Obama. She is amazing. I think she should run for president, but right now, or Oprah, but they're always prepared. And I think that They bring a phenomenal message. They're good at hearing the opposing person's argument, and they can find a way to get the message across in a positive way. So I think it's very easy for us to be negative and to throw stones, but I feel that a woman president would be able to weigh the options there and get her point across in a positive way.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I mean, that's how they feel. I was just thinking about so you're speaking from a business aspect, which is totally great, but I mean more on a personal level. Yeah.
So I do feel like women are typically looked at lesser than a man in some cases. Oh, yeah. So we talk about pay. We talk about opportunities. So I'm a young black woman that's in this corporation, or even personally, you know, seeking opportunities. And I feel that a lot of times we're not given the full credit that we deserve.
Oh, yeah.
And so personally, yes, there is times where I feel that I haven't received enough credit. Do I get mad about it? Definitely I do. But I always look at being optimistic and good. The steps I'm going to take to be proactive. So even though, you know, it could be man, it could be a white male, black male that may try to suppress me from going further, I'm still going to be ambitious. I'm still going to be hungry, just like Brooklyn Simpson, and you know, take those extra steps to hit my goals. So I feel personally, a black woman here in America, we're judged a lot, you know? Yeah. Oh, we're loud, we pop our fingers and pop our mouth and roll our heads, and that's not every woman's story.
Mad black woman.
Yes, and so I think it's time for America to see a young black woman that's on the stage that can speak professionally, that can get her points across in a very professional way, and to let them know all black women are not the same.
That's right. This is true.
When I'm speaking this way, I'm not talking white. I'm talking the way that I speak. So stop putting judgments on us, stop putting barriers over us, and just let us be great. So I think over the last 100 or so years, a lot of things were taken from us. Yeah. And so I think it's just time that we take our land back, and we're going to do that when Brooklyn Simpson gets into office. So
okay.
Very excited about that.
So if you're just tuning in, Brooklyn Simpson is actually the main character in a new stage production that's coming to Cincinnati. It's going to be at the Airnoff, and the name of the play is Brooklyn Real Time for a Change. So we're going to go through the life of a young African-American woman whose dream is to become the president of the United States. And of course there's a lot of naysayers. Of course there's a lot of obstacles in her way to get to where she's trying to get to. And we don't know if she falls off the wagon, so to speak, or if she actually makes it into the White House and turns everything pink. I don't know why people think, why do they think that if we get a female president, she's going to make everything pink? I don't know what that is. Are you scared? Or do you have a fear of having a female president, somebody over everything, a woman?
Actually, I'm kind of excited about having a female president. Hopefully, everything can get restored back to the American people, and we can actually live the lives that we're supposed to live out here. And she controls the country like a real commander-in-chief, and that'd be great. That'd be great, because, I mean, if you have a woman in the military, then it should be a woman in the office somewhere. It just makes some sense to me.
And why do you feel that way?
Well, because if a woman has the authority and the drive to even be a football coach, then
football player. Don't forget they have a
football player.
You know,
that's
Cincinnati
correct.
has a football team, the Cincinnati Sizzle.
Oh, there we go.
All women's football team.
And if you have a woman in that kind of position that can direct and she can take charge like that, that'll be perfect. And I think that it's long overdue.
Okay.
It's long overdue.
Okay. I think a lot of people are afraid to have a woman in a position of such power. Of course, men like to say we're too emotional. You know, we have our, and we deal too much from the heart as opposed to thinking logically. Right. But there are some women, and some of them whom you have mentioned, that are more logical than emotional, more logical than a lot of men. Right. You know, right now, I think our president, he falls way down because I don't think he uses any logic at all. He's just like a big kid, and, you know, he doesn't want anybody to play with his toys, and it's that's just the impression I get of him. Of course, I've never met him, but media is a beast. It can draw a picture of someone. It can make them the exact opposite, make you believe that they are the exact opposite of who they really are. Although I have no doubts that they're pretty on point with this one, but it's just, I agree. It's just me. It's just me. So Brooklyn, when is Brooklyn coming?
So Brooklyn will be here March 30th, 8 p.m. at the Jarson Kaplan Theater at the Airnoff. So I definitely commend Greg on getting us a phenomenal platform to tell this great story. So a beautiful facility.
Okay. So if you know, I know Greg Stallworth, who's not here, has a book coming out as well. Do you remember the name of it?
Crosswires.
Crosswires. And they have a new website. Company name change, just trying to do things a little different. So it's stallworthproductions.com. That's Stallworth with 2 L's, productions.com. And you can find out more about Brooklyn. You can find out more about the actors. And, of course, other productions that are coming up, and find out where you can pick up Greg's book, too. Now, speaking of Greg, what has it been like working with Greg Stallworth? What has been your experience?
It's wonderful. He brings it out of you. Like, it can be lying dormant inside, and you really don't have a way to get out the expressions that you want to get out, or you don't know how to attack the script the way you want to attack the script. Greg will put that in front of your face and make sure that you know what's going on, and next thing you know, boom, you are on point.
Really?
So Greg is a great teacher. I think he's a great teacher.
He is. He's a great guy. What's been your experience?
I would say there would be 2 words to describe Greg. I would say humble and patient. And so with all the phenomenal works, the books, the plays, productions, he's never wanting to be in the spotlight. He's always pushing his actors and actresses to go out and to tell his story. And just when we're in our play practice, just being patient, you know, he'll give us the direction, and if it's something that he wants to see or he wants us to go a little deeper, he's patient, he waits for it. He's a good coach, and he just steps you through the different stages that he wants you to go through. And Greg is just phenomenal. He's a visionary. He brings a variety of different stories to life. As you mentioned, Trapped, The Baby's Daddy, even Crosswires. It's different stories that are very colorful, that's lively, and this is definitely a great production you don't want to miss, because I think we talked about the timing of this play. He's spot on, and we did this play, The Baby's Daddy in Fairfield, I want to say last summer, and he was already kind of telling the audience of a production that may be coming about the first woman president, and to think this was prior to Kamala Harris announcing her presidency, and the fact that Brooklyn is attending Howard in the play, and she's you know, Kamala graduated from Howard. So I think it just shows that he's a forward thinker.
He does a lot of productions pertaining to issues, especially issues in our community. Like we were talking about the different plays you did, A Mother's Plea. Give us a brief synopsis of A Mother's Plea. What was that about?
A Mother's Plea was about a mother who had a son, and he was facing some obstacles. And basically,
you can be a little more detailed than that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been so long. But, and basically, you know, he was a troubled kid a little bit. He was good in a way, but he had some direction that needed to be told to him. And his mother didn't want to see him go to jail, didn't want to see him get killed, things like that. And she just really prayed on him and made sure that he took the right direction. And at the end, he did.
Okay.
And I think it was a good play.
I'm wondering if it's the same play I did. Because I'm like, well, because your character, you played the son.
Yeah.
And from what you say, it's a wayward son, but he was a good kid. I thought he was like a good kid, had graduated, was on his way to college, and he got caught up in something where he was falsely accused of killing someone.
That's right.
So, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you know, Greg will rewrite something. Oh, yeah. He will cast you in a production and be like, you know what, whole new play. Right. So he will rewrite something and put it on or change it up a little bit. So I love his productions. He did a show called not Transcending Trauma. What was the trauma play that he just did last year? Anyway, Trauma Denied. So he did a production called Trauma Denied. And what I loved about that, it was like a collage of different types of trauma that individuals face. So it was just like little stories inside of the play. All these different characters had different issues. Like there was a wife who had fibromyalgia, and the husband left her because he said he didn't want to be married to a sick woman. You know, she would fall on the floor and he would just like, you know what, you need to get up by yourself. So that was pretty abusive in itself. And then there was the domestic violence piece, and he also had real survivors come into the production and share their stories on stage. Yeah, and they had a young African-American male who was facing, you know, some things, and he was talking about how his daddy taught him this and how his daddy taught him that, and he really wants to make him proud. I think that that's a wonderful thing. Now tell me about the baby daddy. I mean, I can only imagine what the baby daddy was about.
So in The Baby's Daddy, I played a totally different role. So it's showing 4 different women's walk in life. So I was the young, carefree woman that took other people's man, including Jason over here. So I was dealing with the young guy, which a lot of the younger women that's watching right now that's in their 20s could relate to, where you're dealing with the man that instead of taking care of his child, he's out buying, you know, clothes and shoes and has multiple women. And then there was another woman in the play that was very involved in church. And she had this abusive man that basically told her, you know, you're never going to find somebody as good as me. You know, why would I even want to look at you? And she's heavily involved in the church, and she gets pregnant. And so a lot of women in the church, you know, if they're not married and they're pregnant, they tend to be shunned or looked down on. And so,
or sat down,
yes,
if they're serving in a ministry.
So she feel like, you know, hey, I committed this horrible sin, you know, what am I going to do? And she feels like she doesn't have anybody to support her. And then there's another woman that played Jason's baby's mother, who she didn't know that Jason was married. And so she's pregnant with his child. And
so were you married to Jason?
Oh, no. I was the other woman, one of his other women.
Oh, one of his, oh.
Yes. So I was one of the other women that he was seeing, but she was also another woman he was seeing, but he was a married man. I know it's kind of complicated. And then the last woman, she actually was the owner of the building. And so she actually was married but got divorced because her husband was gambling a lot. So I think some women can relate to having that husband that has an addiction and dealing with that, and when is enough enough, or how do I get him help, or what should I do? So you see these women's stories and live it with them, and we decide to come up with a plan to confront our baby's daddies because they're not paying child support, they're not doing the things they need to do, and we lure them over to the owner's apartment, and we confront them. So you'll kind of see the story play out from there. But it was a very fun production to do, and I think Greg had a great message behind it. So it was a really good production.
Which there is my point. Greg has a lot of productions that he writes that deals with social issues that we experience in our community. So he's an amazing playwright. I can't wait to read the book. I know that you've read is it the transcript of the book? What is that called?
Yes,
I should know that.
I did proofread. I proofread the book, and I can envision it as a movie. It is phenomenal. So it's dealing with a lot of espionage when it comes to just being in the corporate world. And so you see a lot of shady mess. You know, you see different accolades that this person goes through, and you see some attempts of murder. So it's hints of different elements that you go through in this book. But just the story of how he painted it is phenomenal. So you have to get that book when it comes out.
Yeah, so visit the website, stallworthproductions.com. That's Stallworth with 2 L's, productions.com. So what is in the future for you guys? I mean, it sounds like you've played opposite before. You work in corporate America. You're an entrepreneur. Are you drawn to acting, or is it something that you're doing, you know, to pass the time? What's in the future? What's in the future for you?
I'm drawn to it.
Yeah.
I would love to take it another step. I already mentioned a few times to a couple I guess you can say, assistant directors on the movie sets and things like that. Like, hey, I'm ready for a speaking role or a bigger role.
Yeah.
And I had that kind of opportunity in the last movie I was in. It's called Point Blank. I worked on that. And I'm a bystander to seeing what's going on out there. And I think that was one of my best shots. So after that, when that set was concluded, I was like, you know what? How can I continue this? How can I take it another step?
So you didn't have a speaking, so that you were an extra, right? Tell me, like, not the day in the life of an extra, but the experience on set. I mean, of course, you're being a part of everything. You're a part of the story. When people watch the movie, they're going to see you. But how was that for you? What was that experience like?
It was awesome. Basically, it's more of a sit and wait kind of thing, and they set up the set. And once you get out there, you probably have to take a few takes. And after those few takes, you'll get warmed up to what you need to be doing, and you can remember how to basically interact with the other people that they probably tell you to interact with. They'll probably give you some clues to do, like, hey, do this, do that.
Who was in that movie?
Point Blank was, what is his name? Frank Grillo was one of the guys.
Okay,
I know that for a fact. And I forgot the young brother's name. He's from New Orleans. Anthony Mackie.
Okay.
He was in that movie as well. And it was good to see them on set. That was pretty awesome as well. And you get to sit back and you get to watch how they interact and how they get prepared and things like that. And once you see how they take advantage of those opportunities, you know you can do it as well. Okay. So it's a basic thing, but people need to just remember, like, you know, the basic things the directors tell them and things like that. And it's easy.
So you plan to work your way up?
Definitely.
Perfect. And if you've got Deland Myers on your side, then chances are you're probably going to be in almost every movie that comes into
awesome.
Cincinnati. She is amazing. What about you, Chantel?
So I'm definitely very interested in continuing acting. So I'm in a production this summer, August 3rd, called Holiness or Hell. So it is a phenomenal play written by Trina Best. And so I'll be playing Nurse Chambers in that play. And then soon after...
what is that? Is that through the church? Is that through, where's that? Who's putting that on?
It's through BI Productions, which is her own personal production company. They had this play last year. My mother and I went to see it. They did premiere it at a church, so it got a lot of local news attention. And so they're bringing it back bigger and better, and it'll be at the Cincinnati Christian University. So there's going to be 2 shows on August 3rd at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And there will be a couple productions after that, but I can't talk about it at this time.
Okay, I understand. I can't get the exclusive tonight. Oh, well. All right. So as far, I mean, go on with what your future, because you're in corporate America.
Yes.
And I know you said you had done some plays previously with your church and everything. But the opportunity to branch out and do plays that are not with the church, with an actual production company like Stallworth Productions or whatever, how has it been different for you?
So it's very educational. So a lot of times with the church plays, not discrediting them, because it is a lot that you learn from doing those productions, but it's given me the chance to be more flexible. So we're not just telling a biblical story, but I'm stepping into different characters. So in this role, you know, I'm playing the President of the United States, which that was very easy for me because I can relate a lot to Brooklyn because I'm very resilient. But in the Holiness or Hell play, I'm playing a nurse or a doctor per se. I apologize. So I'm not used to being a doctor, but I have to step into that role of being a doctor. And then soon after that, you know, I'm playing this woman that murders her husband, you know? So you're stepping into different dynamics, and with acting, you learn about positioning and staging and really just knowing how to, you know, conduct interviews like I'm doing with you now and getting those additional opportunities. So although I've been very successful within corporate America, I'm very passionate about acting and, you know, stepping into those different roles to tell a story. And I think it's a unique thing about being a storyteller and doing it well. So I'm very excited to learn.
Okay. How was you spoke of an interview. So this isn't your first interview on the play, you know, for the play. Tell me about your interview at the radio station.
Yes, so recently interviewed with Lincoln Ware last Friday.
Lincoln Ware.
So very phenomenal experience just to be able to tell the story. And, you know, Lincoln threw it out there that he could possibly, you know, want to be a part of the production. So we're still, the offer still stands, Lincoln, to be my vice president. But it was a great experience. And I think that this is definitely a story, not just for women, but I think for men too. I think it's time for them to see that women can step into that role of being the president of the United States, and to respect that step for us. So our job is not just to be in the kitchen, washing clothes and cooking meals, but we can actually stand up and run a country and do it well. So
if we can run a company, we can run a country. I mean, heck, that's what Trump thought. You know, he's like, I've got these companies, and so if I can run these, and I can run the country. Yeah. Apparently a lot of other people thought that too, but, you know, there was some, I've been hearing about him buying out states, so to speak, and getting them to change the votes. And so I don't know what that's called, but it's called illegal. I know that part. So I don't know why we haven't impeached him yet.
Yeah, because I think women, we have integrity. So I know that he's being investigated right now, and I just feel that if you're going to run for that type of position, you know, just do it the right way and get your message across with integrity, because he's not just representing MEGA, he's representing the United States of America.
Right.
Not just here, but to the country. And this is not the type of place that is focused on a wall and excluding people, you know. United States is supposed to be a place where you can come and live your dreams, and he's not depicting our dream right now.
I wonder if other country leaders are just looking at us and laughing. And they're just like, really? You know, they put him in the White House. For real? What's really going on? Right. You know, why are they there? So I think he's bringing down the reputation of the U.S. And the next person to take the office is going to have a lot of work to do. A lot of work. And of course, women are used to multitasking and making things happen and taking care of things here, there, and everywhere. So I'm really hopeful that we do have a female president.
Absolutely.
I was rooting for Hillary. I was rooting for her. I don't know. And because you're playing the characters, so you're not really Brooklyn. But I was thinking, I was like, you know, what about all the slander, all the stuff that people come up with, the things that they dig up? You know, you have to really have a hard shell, because something like that, people are going to dig and dig and dig until they find something. I mean, go all the way back to elementary school and see what they can say about you. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. No. I've got skeletons in my closet that I buy clothes for. So, I couldn't. Can't get me out there like that, but hey, I will support the heck out of somebody. I sure will. I sure will. They can have my vote. They can have a seat on my show. Whatever the case may be, I will support the heck out of them. So what do you guys do for fun? We've been talking about politics and you know, stage. What do you do for fun? And don't say act. That's not fair. You can't do that. You can't do that. What do you do for fun?
Basically, I like to get out there and just enjoy nature and just maybe go for walks and things like that. Or, you know, just basic.
That isn't exciting. Like you cage fight or something. You cage fight or something.
Well, it would have been nice to play in the NFL or something like that, but that was a dream of mine when I was a kid coming up. And but right now, just hopefully I can get back into traveling and just get back into seeing things, and maybe hitting a couple cities and watching some games there too as well. So yeah, and it's always nice to wherever my buddy Josh Harrison go watch him play some baseball.
You messing with me now? Yeah. Okay, fine. You can do that. Chantel, what do you do for fun?
So I like to stay in touch with what's going on in the Queen City. So I love to network, attend a lot of different events. So recently, Kiss 107 had a beach theme party down by the river in Newport, and it was awesome.
Recently?
Recently. So,
it's cold outside.
Yes, so it was in a heated tent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so heated tent, live band, real sand. You know, they had beach drinks. They had, you know, the rice bowls that they serve in the cut-up pineapple bowls.
Okay.
So just different things like that. So I love networking, meeting new people, and just, you know, enhancing different opportunities that can come about. So
that's always fun. That's always fun. Speaking of different things, I wanted to take a moment to share some of the stuff that was going on with the Cassie Project. So we recently just had a survivor session where we had a keynote survivor on the couch, and it was Miss Ebony J. Wynn of 101.5, I think is the radio station. It's Radio 1, I know that, so I probably have the call letters all jacked up. But she actually is a survivor of domestic violence and sexual abuse, and she came and she shared her story. We were at a fantastic venue. It was actually a private venue, so it was really different, and the atmosphere was wonderful. There was a lot of healing. We had people come out. We had prizes and raffles and things like that. But we do have some other sessions coming up, so make sure you check us out either on Facebook, that's Facebook / The Cassie Project, and or you can check us out on Twitter or Instagram. I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at Instagram. At least I think I know how to post something. Not directly, but like kind of through Facebook. So you can find us there and find out more of what's going on, where we're going to be, but we do plan to have a session in March. So if you are looking to attend one of the survivor sessions, just keep checking back for more information. And let's see, anything else? You know, our annual event, but that's all the way in September, so we'll probably talk about that later in the year. But you know what? I'm so glad that you guys are here. And right now, I just want to, I don't know, give the information for the play again.
Sure. So Brooklyn Real Time for Change will be March 30th at 8 p.m. at the Jarson Kaplan Theater. You can get your tickets at 513-621-ARTS or through Ticketmaster.
And we don't talk about tickets here.
Okay.
I mean, if you hear about it, no, it's okay. It's okay. It happens. I've done it before too, but it took me a long time to learn that. I'm curious, what's been your biggest challenge, either working with this production or any other production? Was there a point where you were just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, or this isn't going to work, or you know, something I can't do what this character is doing? Anything like that?
I would say it was a little bit of a challenge playing the role that I played in The Baby's Daddy, because I had to become a woman that I'm not used to being. So with going in between different men, dressing very loosely, accepting the type of treatment that I was getting from my baby's daddy, because if I was in my real character, that would have been cut down a long time ago. But just dealing with him and the back and forth and not being able to stand on my own 2 feet is typically not the character I'm used to. But I think it showed that I'm willing through acting to step into that role and to step into that mindset and not think like Chantel, but think like the character that I'm playing.
Yeah.
So with that being my first major role outside of church, it really showed me, okay, you can do this.
All
so
right. You got some flexibility in there.
Yes.
You can chameleon for them, become whatever you need to. That's cool. Have you experienced any challenges when you were working?
Definitely. I say my first challenge was A Mother's Plea. And basically, in that play, it could have easily been anyone. Any guy like me, just a hard worker, diligent student, athlete, go out there and see something happen and get accused for it. And next thing you know, the whole future is just drawn away.
Yeah.
So
it was a challenge for you to play that character?
Yeah, it was a challenge as far as like the role in the play, as far as, you know, the lines that I had and things like that. It made me more, you know, fluent. And it was basically a challenge in that way, but more like, okay, a relief at the same time, because I wanted to get through that and make sure that I can take care of a role as that. So it basically gave me some flexibility. It gave me a little bit of edge. And I was like, okay, I can do this acting stuff.
Oh,
I can really do it.
All right. So I did a play once, and we were traveling. We were on tour, and I played 2 characters.
Oh, wow.
And we were doing a show down in Louisiana, and I have to like run off stage and do a quick change. I mean, really, really quick change. So I ended up doing that, and when I came back on stage, you know, everybody was kind of like looking at me, and I was like, what? But I had done my scene, I mean, in front of an audience and everything, and I go to the back to change my clothes, and my wig was on backwards. So I had the back of the wig as the front of, anyway, it was, yeah, but nobody had told me that. It was like, Chris, your wig is on backwards, you know. Once I hit the stage, there was really nothing I can do. But that, I thought that was really fun. That was something that I'll never forget. And I don't know if the audience members knew or not, but I know for me it was a little traumatic because I'm like, oh my God, you know. I felt like I didn't put my best foot forward, but I guess it kind of worked with the character because she became a non-caring mother, so to speak. She was like one of those people who didn't really want kids and was just kind of like, you know, get out of my face sort of character. So that was always fun. That was always fun. So you guys are going to be at the Aronoff. That is a huge facility. Is that not intimidating? Does it not, you know, no?
It's exciting.
Gosh, do you feel like you have to bring a different type? I know you're going to bring your best, but do you feel like you have to bring a different type of, I don't know, to performing at the Aronoff as opposed to performing at a church?
Absolutely, because I feel that there's going to be a lot of people coming out to see this production from all walks of life. And so it's not going to be geared towards one type of group. And so I feel that with this type of message, you have to bring the power behind it. You know, they want to see someone that's ambitious, so I have to be ambitious. I have to be resilient. There's going to be a lot of things thrown at me. I mean, even talking about topics of racism that people don't feel comfortable speaking about, you're going to live it with Brooklyn. And so I have to bring how she's feeling through these different stages of her life. So I have to put myself in that space of dealing with racism and being judged by the color of my skin and the neighborhood that I come from. So there's definitely going to be a lot of emotion brought to this production.
I am so looking forward to it. I'm excited to wait. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it. At least Act 1. So I say that because I've been recruited to actually participate in the production with you guys. So I will also be in the play, and I forgot my name. Do you remember?
So you will be the senator.
Oh, I'll be the senator.
The senator. I'm not sure your exact name off the top of my head, but you are the senator. So you're very prestigious and provide me with guidance.
Oh, I'm going to have to buy some new hair. You know, probably wear my hair in a bun or something. You know, I think you could do it like that. So, yeah, but I think my character doesn't come in until Act 2.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll probably be what'd you say?
Being respectful, I apologize, yes.
How far, wait, so was that the first time you addressed me in the entire interview? Because that's the first time I heard it tonight. You haven't said it before, have you?
No.
Okay, yeah, let's not do that again.
Okay, I apologize.
Okay, save it for the stage, save it for the script, yeah. Don't call me ma'am, what this look like? Well, you know what, I might as well start accepting it because I'm going to be a new grandma.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations. I'm going to have a new baby. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So is there anything you guys want to share with the audience? Any, hey, this is why you should be there. Any, hey, I'm doing this, follow me. You want them to follow you on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anything like that? Anything you want to share with the people about what you're doing?
Well, I have a little music as well that we worked on. It hasn't got out yet, but we're working on that.
So you produce music? You write it?
Yeah, write and help produce, co-produce, things like that. Maybe a little bit.
You know, we got a little time. We got a little time for that.
I can't sing that big of a tune, but you know. But you can follow me on Instagram at Route to the Goat, or
spell it.
It's ROUTT. With a letter, a number 2, to the gold.
The gold, GOLD, up to the gold.
And basically, it's just random content on there and things like that, And you can follow my SoundCloud. Basically, you can get to that at www.soundcloud.com/JRoute. And it's a few songs on there that I think they can maybe hit the charts.
Really? Really? So is that what you're going for? Are you going to be on an independent label? Are you trying to get on with Sony or Capitol or anybody like that?
Not really. We'd love to stay independent. We have our own. It's called Black Team Entertainment, LLC. And basically, it's not off the ground like we want it yet, but it's coming. And once we get it there, the city will know. Because we need that different type of swag out here, that different
Have
nice
you done
music.
any shows or anything? Have you,
We've done one show at the Mad Frog probably like 4 years ago with DJ E-Train.
Okay.
And that was pretty nice.
Okay, you should have a lot of music piled up if that was 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, we have.
I mean, you are going to be ready to burst. You're going to have so much music coming up. Well, we can't keep up. Wait a minute. Was it the
Right. Shout out to my LME guys.
Your LME guys. And that's not the, what is LME?
Well, it's I don't know if you heard of Oski Osaya. He's a local artist himself.
Okay.
And he's good, and he's very good.
So we're talking hip-hop, we're talking like underground music?
Yeah, it's basically underground at the time, but he's working his way up the charts right now. Shout out to him. And basically, I work with his cousin, Sean, and a few of his friends, Landon and my cousin Chris, and they call themselves LME and things like that.
Okay, gotcha.
And they made a few songs, and we collabed with it, and we got out there and did a pretty good show out there at the Mad Frog.
All right. I've been to the Mad Frog when they used to have salsa. So that was fun. It's been a long time since I've done that. Chantel, what you got going on?
So you can follow me at Forbes Finest One. That's FORBES FINEST1, and that's for Instagram. Or you can follow me on Facebook. It's Chantel Renee, and Renee is RENEE, just to see upcoming productions that I'll be in.
That's amazing. And you can follow me. I'm just kidding. I mean, well, you could, but you probably all know that. The Cassie Project, just type us in. And if you want to type in my name, it's KHRYS Styles, but I'm pretty sure all of you know that by now. And don't forget to join us on the website. Check us out on the website and our Facebook. We've got new videos uploading every week of survivors who are sharing their journeys and coming to a place where they can find healing and helping us figure out how to get through obstacles and where to get help from. We're almost at the end of the show, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm really excited for Greg. I'm really proud of him, and I really hope that he's able to get some support from Kamala Harris. We were talking about him reaching out, and I actually sent the commercial as well. So hopefully she's like, hey, could this be, my life story? Could this be, because it is very similar with her going to Howard, the way she grew up, and that's very similar to Brooklyn. I wonder if Greg used her as a muse when he was writing it. Well, no, he couldn't have, because she didn't say anything then, so I guess not. Wow. I mean, just look at how God works. It's amazing that this production is coming out right now, and he had no idea of what was going on with Kamala Harris until after he had already started production for the play and the way that it's happening. So again, make sure you join everyone for Brooklyn. This is the little flyer. I don't know if you guys can zoom in on that or not. There you go. That's the little flyer. So if you see it, make sure you pick it up. And on the back, it's like the synopsis of the play, everything that my two guests have shared with you. Don't try to read that. We just look at that. Just look at that part. I have my glasses on and I still can't read it. That is terrible. See, there you go. It proves that I'm about to be a grandma then. Got to have my glasses on. So Brooklyn is coming March 30th at the Aronoff Center. For more information, log on to the website. That would be StalworthProductions.com. Stalworth with 2 L's, Productions.com. Greg, I'm really disappointed that you're not here with us tonight. I know you're watching because you usually always watch, and that hopefully you're out of your meeting. Wink, wink. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm going to need a note or something from Stan Ross saying that that's where you were tonight, because I really, really wanted you on the set. But he is very humble, and, he just was like, no, Chantel's going to be the face of the production. She's going to do all the interviews. She's going to, so she's going to do everything. Is there any pressure with that? I mean, your face is on this flyer. Have you gotten to the point where people have stopped you, like, I've seen you before, or that's you, or anything like that?
Not necessarily. I did get some people that reached out after listening to the Lincoln Ware show.
Awesome.
So I just ensure, I'm always representing Greg, so this is his message. So anywhere that I go, whether it's TV, radio, I'm ensured that I'm professionally dressed as the president, and I'm conducting myself as so.
Yeah, she's definitely into her character. So I can't wait to see you on stage. I can't wait to see you on stage. When Greg was telling me that about the lead actress, he just said, I have this phenomenal something, and she's beautiful, and she's smart, and she's got this and this and this and this. So he was talking about you, and I'm like, okay. And so he asked me to do the website, so that's when I saw your picture, and I was like, okay, yeah. Greg found the one to do it, because you really fit the bill. You do, the way you dress, and the fact that you are in corporate America, you already know how to carry yourself. So it's really going to do, maybe it was a little typecasting going on there. I don't know. Do you have any desire to run for president?
Not at this time.
Okay. I was just curious.
But if the country keeps going the way that it is, yes, I may have to jump in the ring.
I understand. So we are coming to an end. It's been wonderful having you guys here. I'm just excited because I love theater. That is like one of my passions, I guess you can say, because I do acting and stuff like that too. And I just love the feel of being on stage with a live audience and getting that feedback when they laugh or when they moan or when they, heckle or something like that. Are you ready for all of that?
I'm ready.
All the heckling? Mm-hmm. But I would think anybody that came out to see this production would probably be in favor of a female president, as instead of being opposed to it. So I'm looking for a lot of support from the audience. And hopefully you guys will have to do a second night.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I don't know if it would Greg be like, oh, wait a minute. It may not be a second night at the Airnoff, but maybe somebody else is going to invite you all to do the production elsewhere. And I'd really love to see that. I'd like to see Greg go on tour again, because the Mother's Plea was done at the African American Film Festival?
Yes, it was.
Was that right? Yeah. Now, had it been to the festival before or after you did it?
It was right after we did that.
Okay, right after you did
the
it.
The representatives was inside the building at the time, and I was shocked. I was like, Greg, I think you on your way.
Yeah.
Movies might be next.
Well, they did do a short film, though. Didn't they do the short film down in North Carolina, I think it was?
North Carolina. I would love to see it. They invited us down, but I don't think Greg accepted the invitation.
Aww.
But I want to check it out.
I've seen a couple of clips from it. I haven't watched the whole thing, but it's exciting to see something that you do turn into something that you see on TV. From book to stage to film. It's an amazing journey, and it's very, it just makes you feel like, yes, I got it, this is happening. These people are believing the story and taking it in because I got skills. Right. I mean, basically, if you do that for us, then that means you got it going on. All right, the music indicates the end of the show, so we will see you, oh my gosh, we'll see you a ways from now, probably after the summer. But of course, Praise TV is still going to go on. So if you need more information on the Cassie Project, it's thecassieproject.org. Visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and all of those things. In the meantime, it's been great seeing you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.